Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I study for my exams. This video is going to be part of a series that I'm filming called The Ultimate Guide to University. In this series, I want to talk about finances as students, ways to be productive, how to stay disciplined and motivated throughout the semesters. I'm going to be talking about the student work-life balance. I'm going to be talking about how to take notes. I'm going to be talking about friendships, relationships, professional relationships, anything student related to make your life more enjoyable because it's truly chaotic out there, to say the least. If it's your first time here, hi, my name is Noor. I am currently a third-year student pursuing double degree majors in disaster and emergency management and economics. I have a really high GPA. I got into internships and will continue to do internships. I'm pursuing honors in both the degrees. I got accepted into a good exchange school because of my high GPA. I can go on and on and on. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because you're getting your information from someone who hacked the system, and I now have the best tips for you guys. And of course, I'm still learning along the way. So if you have any tips that you think is really good for studying for exams, please leave them down in the comments below. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the 4 steps that I take to study for my exam, and please don't skip or leave. The 4th step is the most important step that every single person does not think to do. I keep hearing people say, I've studied days and nights and I still got a bad grade. Well, girl or boy, you're skipping the 4th step. So without further ado, let's get going. All right, hold your horses. Okay, so before we even think about studying for your exam, we need to make an outline. One of the most important and crucial steps. Please, even if you have like one day left to study, make an outline. And even if you think your test or exam is easy, still make an outline. It helps you be clear on what to study, what areas to focus on, what areas you think your professor is going to test you on the most. It really helps you stay organized and confident in your abilities. So number 1, you need to make sure to title it. This is because you might have so many other exams to study for, so it keeps it organized, and you can't start a paper without a title, so please title it. Number 2, I make sure to add a percentage, and this is so important because every time you start getting lazy or unfocused or demotivated, when you see that percentage and how much it's worth, you're gonna go right back to your seat and start studying. So add your percentage. Now, I also want you to add the date, location, building name, class number, so you don't miss it. And I'm speaking from experience. I remember I had this finance class and the professor wrote us an email saying it was from this to this on a Sunday. And I saw 11. So I was like, oh great, okay. Very early for an exam, 11 a.m. Okay, I got it. And I didn't write it down. And then the day that I had to go for the exam, I went in and then I saw everybody coming out of the exam room. My heart dropped. I went back to the email and somehow my eyes missed the first number. It was from 9 to 11 on a Sunday. First of all, why is it on a Sunday at 9 a.m.? Are you crazy for a finance exam? You want me to do finance at 9 a.m. in the morning? Already I commute, so I have to like wake up at 6 a.m. Are you kidding me? Make sure you double check and triple check the timing and write it on paper. Next, I make sure to add the format of the exam or test or quiz. I make sure to write how many multiple choice questions are there. Is there a case study in it? Do you have to write long answers? Is it oral? Because there are some exams that are oral. So make sure to write the format and that will help you study for it. Trust. Next, I make a master checklist on my page. So for each checklist, I make sure to write the chapter first and then all the units of that chapter and all the readings of that chapter. So I make sure that I go through every single thing that I need to go through. I also write the theme of each chapter. So what is it that the professor is trying to teach us or want us to focus on in each chapter? So these are most likely the things that they will test you on. So I also make sure to go over this theory or this idea when you study. So I make sure to focus on on these subjects more than others. Now, a unique thing that I like to add in my outline is a note section. This note section, you can add literally anything that relates to you. How I like to do it is I write the days that I have left before my exam, and I make sure to divide these days up and write everything I need to do for those days. So for example, Tuesday, read this, memorize these things, focus on chapter A, B, C, and this just helps me visualize everything. And it also reduces my stress levels because now I've had it all figured out. All I need to do now is actually get to studying. I also love to add an explanation of how I'm going to be studying for each of those chapters, because every class, every chapter is different. So for example, you don't study the same way for a math class as you would in a sociology class. So write a little explanation of how you're going to study. I like to treat this note section as a little journal where I really try to make everything as clear and simple as possible. All right, let's move on to how I study for my exams. Now listen carefully. I divide this whole process in 4 steps. The first step is going to take maximum 10% of the entire studying process, and that is I just read my notes briefly. So every time I want to tackle a chapter, I read everything that I need to read, the slides, the readings. You do not want to do the readings for everything altogether, okay? Because you're going to be dead by the end of it. So for that chapter, I open up my notes and I start reading everything really quickly, really briefly, just going over it. Step number 2, this step is optional. However, there is a component in this step that you cannot skip, okay? You cannot skip it. So one of the ways I memorize things is by rewriting them. Studies show that when you rewrite things, you are prone to memorize things quicker than if you would type it up. So I like to have a piece of paper and I like to rewrite things over and over again until I have them memorized. Now that paper is gonna look ugly, but it's not for, notes purposes, it's only for memorizing purposes. But also, while I'm going through my notes and writing these things down, I have a second piece of paper next to me, and this is a step that you cannot not do, okay? I want you to have a piece of paper next to you and start writing questions for every single topic that you think is important. So for example, you read in your notes, what are the 10 critical infrastructures of Canada? And then you see your notes, you're like health, safety, blah, 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 blah. In that piece of paper, I want you to write, what are the 10 critical infrastructures in Canada? I don't want you to write the answer, I just want you to write a question. And every time you do a chapter, you write the questions. I want you to not touch that sheet after you've completed this portion, okay? I want you to take that sheet and put it somewhere else where you can't see it and forget about it. Number 3, this is where you can do more of your memorizing. Again, if you have written everything down in step number 2 and you're still not confident about you having it memorized, the step exists so that you can do more of that memorizing. So I use Quizlet. I love using Quizlet and go on it wherever I am, whether it's on the bus or I'm eating. So it's super efficient. You don't have to be always on your desk to be memorizing these things. Or you can use key cards. You can rewrite things again and again and again until you get it. And there's so many other techniques for memorization. However, these are the ones that works best for me. You can even have a study buddy, which is not something that always works because most of the time we end up yapping and not actually studying. If you want a video on how to memorize and all the different techniques that goes into it, I have this video right here that you can watch. I think it's an hour long, so good luck. But the ones I tell you right now are really efficient. Rewriting things, I'm telling you, is the best for memorization. So number 1 takes 10% of the entire studying process. Number 2 takes, again, 10%-ish of your entire process. And then number 3 takes 30 to 40%. So this is where you do a lot of memorizing. The reason why I rewrite these notes on step number 2 is just to start the process of actually studying. Now, listen to me. This step is the most crucial step. I do not want you skipping this. Matter of fact, if you are studying like so last minute, and I mean like a day before the exam, this is the one that you need to do, okay? I don't understand how people can go to exams and get tested before they test themselves. It's so simple. Step number 4 is test yourself. There are many benefits to testing yourself. Number 1, it's another layer of memorizing. Number 2, you are so much more confident when you go to that exam class. You will do so well because your confidence level is through the roof. You're like, I've already done this at home, I can do this in class. Number 3, it removes the stress. As it would make you confident, it would also reduce the stress, and so much more, okay? If you skip this step, I promise you that you're not going to do as well as you can. So, how do you test yourself? Well, there's so many different ways thanks to technology these days. Number 1, you can use that paper that you've set aside. Yeah, bring it back and answer the questions. If you answer them confidently, you are okay. I don't know how well you've done your questions, so don't just rely on this paper, okay? Another way you can test yourself is by using AI. It's so simple. Guys, it's so simple. Just use AI, ChatGPT or Gemini. Put your notes into those AI chat boxes. Tell them the format of the exam. Tell them the difficulty level. Add all the little specifications. Tell them to add a solution at the end of it to make sure that you've got everything correct. And do them. And keep doing them, keep doing them, keep doing them until you are so confident that you got this. Make sure also to change the level of difficulty each time. Maybe tell them to use examples instead of straightforward questions. For example, what are the 10 critical infrastructures? You might tell them to ask you, is the healthcare system a critical infrastructure? You know what I mean? Like, tell them the way you want those questions to be written. And you can change them every time. So do them until you feel confident. You can also use a friend. So this is something that I grew up doing. Ask your friend to test you. And I mean a study friend, not a friend, okay? I don't want you guys to be yapping and forget about studying and be distracted, and then all that information gets out of your brain, okay? This is focus mode, this is lock-in mode. And step number 4 takes 40 to 50% of my studying. So yeah, it is pretty important. And then you're ready to take your exam. I really hope this video helped you guys. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I don't know if I explained this as well as I can. I have so many things I have to get to, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any tips, please do share them down in the comments below. We are always learning and we are always improving. I wish you good luck. Also, let me know what you're studying for, and I'll see you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe and like. Bye!